All right, doing a solo video today. I don't do these very often. This is actually one of my first ones. And today the topic is going to be some caves in China. All right. Longyou Caves, China. Let's check that out. All right.
These are the Longyou Caves, and they deserve to be a whole lot more popular than they currently are.
Okay.
A lot of this obscurity is pretty explainable. The site was only uncovered about 30 years ago, and only just recently have efforts been undertaken to transform it into a major tourist attraction.
All right, 30th anniversary of discovering the Longyou grottos. So I'm not going to digress too much, but I believe that many of the previous civilizations lived underground, and I still think that civilizations live under the ground. But I'm not going to get too into that. If you're into any of that esoteric kind of woo-woo stuff, then you might know.
With the infrastructure to support so many people. It really cannot come quickly enough, as this site is absolutely amazing, and it has all the potential to be just as famous as the Terracotta Army or other major Chinese tourist attractions.
Well,
as of right now,
must have been so difficult to build the Great Wall of China.
The site is not unknown, but it mainly serves as a regional Chinese tourist attraction. If you want to be among the first Westerners to see what Longyou has to offer, then you've come to the right place. So stick around, because we're going to give you all the information you need to visit the Longyou Caves.
Let's check it out, man. All right. Shanghai. Yes, it is actually pronounced
to be a 2-hour train ride from Shanghai. Now, thanks to China's expansive and ever-growing high-speed rail network, access to the Longyou Caves from most of China.
You know, in the States, they talk a lot about China and talk about them like they're just the ultimate enemy, but their history is amazing, their culture is amazing, and their train system is phenomenal. It is clean, orderly. It is. There's other problems, just like every other country, but I appreciate their train system quite a bit.
China's eastern cities is relatively possible. Even from Beijing, which is over 900 miles to the north, the Longyou Caves can be reached in just about 6.5 hours. So be sure to check wherever you are, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to assume a starting point of Shanghai. There are going to be a lot of train combinations.
I guess Shanghai is the way it's pronounced. I noticed earlier he had some sort of captions to describe that.
That can get you from Shanghai to Longyou, but there is a direct option from Shanghai's Hongqiao station, which is conveniently located right next to Shanghai.
What do we got here? We got some infrastructure. It looks like some type of buildings over here. I like how he does the 3D maps. That's definitely dope. Airport. Cool. So the rail station is right next to the airport. Exactly. That's intelligent. That's well designed.
Shanghai's international airport of the same name, although it's important to note that this is unlikely to be the airport that you fly into China initially on, as it's mainly used for domestic Chinese flights and inter-Asian regional travel.
Gotcha. So it's more for actually within China itself, not international.
Trains from this station depart very frequently throughout the morning and
what do we got here? The pricing is not too bad, actually. First class is like $38. I mean, from a Western perspective, that's not outrageous.
Early afternoon. Return trains back from Longyou run late, with the last one leaving Longyou at about 9 p.m. But of course, all of this is subject to change, so as you're planning your own trip, definitely be sure to check out the train schedules to verify when the last one going back to Shanghai.
Nice. Let's check out the actual caves. I dig all that, but I want to see the caves.
Confirm either way, as there's not much information available online. The site has been slightly altered. For example, some of the carvings have been added since the caves were drained, and the whole tunnels between the caves have also been added.
The caves were drained, and that's something, right? When I was a kid, I used to think a lot that what I would see with my eyes was the current level of the planet. Like where I walk, I'm like, well, okay, sounds dumb, but I'm like, this is the highest part of Earth. And if you realize that shorelines and every other line goes up and down, and many things were under the water at one point and either will be again. So it's interesting that when they drain caves, you can see that. I don't know if you know how hard it is to etch into stone, but it is really difficult. And they weren't doing it with chicken bones, I'll tell you that. All right, let's get back to this.
Aid in navigating the site in one clean line. On site also exists all of the amenities you would expect from a big tourist attraction, including, of course, bathrooms, a gift shop, a restaurant, as well as a small medical clinic.
Are those real birds? I would not think that. I think they're
A
fake.
restaurant, as well as a small
They're fake birds.
medical clinic. So even though you are away from major Chinese urban centers, you'll still have access to anything you might need, as this site is not like some of the others we've seen on this channel that's surrounded by virtually no tourist infrastructure.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're just out there.
The site is probably best visited in the autumn or spring, as summers can get hot, humid, and rainy. Although, of course, this is dependent on where you're traveling from, so check out the weather yourself.
Interesting. All right, I want to actually see more footage of the cave itself. So show me that.
Hey guys, this is Mike with the Wandering Wolf, and we are here at the Longyou Caves.
And there's a kid in there.
Last shoot out, and they're like, yeah, no, it's free, which is even better. Like I said, I've been wanting to come here for so long. So if you think about what that cave used to be, we're standing on ground that is built up over years. So that would have been an entrance to a cave. We're standing on maybe possibly like 30, 40 feet of debris that's just come down over the years.
Only 5 of the caves on site have been drained and open to the public. The other 19 remain undrained and unexplored still to this day. Isn't that something? I mean, they're draining caves, and underneath of it, there's all of this life and high intelligence. It's remarkable.
Fill this whole area. So there could be all sorts of entrances in different parts of this area, like coming through this part here where you see
It's so cool to think of what it once was, and the people who were there.
holes chiseled out the rock. You see cut marks here, the same type of chiseling that you see in sites all over the place, specifically this one. And this could all just be weathered down part of the entranceway or something.
Remarkable. All right, let's head inside the cave here. Here we go. In the summer months, temperatures here can get above 100 Fahrenheit. Oh, wow. Still cool down there.
Oh, wow. This is what I've been waiting to see.
Let's see it.
So guys, this, as far as I know, this cave was discovered in like 221 BC. There's really
221 BC.
no history or records showing anything about this place. As you can see, it's absolutely massive.
Wow.
And it was discovered just by chance.
Look at that. Look at all that under the ground. You know, most of the time you think under the ground, you're just going to be all cramped and have every, rock around you and bugs and all. But look at this. Look at this.
Apparently a fisherman, all these caves were flooded like this, but full of water. And apparently a fisherman discovered a massive fish down here, prompting people to drain the cave to see what was down here. They've never discovered the remains or what's been pulled out of here. Some of the ceilings in here reach up to 100 feet high. You're talking
100 feet high. Who was digging 100 feet high? I don't know. How tall is your ladder? My ladder's like 6 foot, and I don't even like to go on the top of that ladder. There was really some advanced technology going on here. It's impossible just to be some generic sort of tribe,
talking about like 3,000 square feet per cave, which is over 30,000 square feet of cave systems. If you can see the people down here compared to the columns and the walls, you get a sense of scale of just how massive this place is.
Wow.
Wow, I cannot explain to you guys how excited I am to be here. I've been wanting to come to this place for so long now, and it's definitely living up to the expectations. Created for, and
All right, so here's some of what is etched in the stone. Now, mind you, this place was completely submerged by water. This is how powerful stone is. I'm sure some of it's been eroded, but look at it. Look at all the detail. It's impeccable. And that's why they did it in stone, a lot of the ancients, because paper is destructible. So much is destroyed. Computers, like you keep it on a cloud. Stone lasts.
The level of craftsmanship on display here is absolutely stunning. You can see where they took great care in exactly how they were cutting out the stone. Everything is in parallel bands running across the ceiling, the pillars, the walls, almost as if to give it a very uniform feel. And it does do that. So guys, one of my biggest pleasures in making these videos is showing different places of architectural skill that were made just thousands of years.
Look at that. Thousands of years ago, these were created.
Years ago. This is one of those places. Places that kind of make you ask, how did they do it?
Yeah.
Nobody knows where all the stone went that was excavated from this place. And you're talking about tons and tons and tons of stone that had to be removed from each one of these places. And if you can get a sense of scale here of how big this place is, you're talking about 24 caves in total. This is just one.
Wow. And there's probably even more than that. They did LiDAR, you'd see... Man, the stuff we walk on top of.
There are 5 excavated caves in total, with tunnels and stairs that connect all of them. The confined spaces made it hard to know.
I love it's such an ancient thing, right? And then you got people just with earbuds and their phones and taking pictures. Everything becomes a tourist attraction. You know, if New York City was blown to bits, it would be horrible, and they talk about in history for the longest time, and then eventually it would just be a tourist attraction. How many times have I seen the Statue of Liberty decimated in movies? You know? Wild.
What was just around the corner, so every time we turned around, we were seeing something new and incredible. Cave 5 was no different. I really hope you guys can get a sense of just how massive these caves are.
Looks like some sort of dragon on the stone over here. And then it's like, as he said, the way they actually cut it, the way they layered it like that, and then pillars on top of that, that's insane. How do you even start?
So guys, if you notice, even some of these carvings on the pillars, like this one right here, it's a dragon.
Yep.
And its head is going down into the ground. So it's entirely possible that we are still standing on further unexcavated parts of this cave. This could actually go even deeper.
Wow.
That would be really impressive.
Absolutely amazing. Look at that. That is stone. Man.
So we're in the 3rd cave now from entering. Looks like more was excavated than I thought, so this is great. Little treat.
Sure. That is really impressive. He did a great job in this video, for sure. Really kind of showing it, and good job, man.
Which I don't recall seeing anywhere else. Those look like swords laid across. You know what? That looks like a sword, a gun, a cross. There's a bird. Oh wow, look.
This is the way out.
Interesting. Well, that was an excellent video, obviously. Wandering Wolf, you are dope. I'm going to give you a thumbs up. This is from 5 years ago. Very cool. Very cool. All right. And with that, do a little summary, and then I'll be... All right, so made it through. This is my first solo video, exploring things, being curious. I just like this channel because it's a creative outlet for me while I can learn, and it helps me to produce. And if you like it, I don't know. Thanks for watching, man. And subscribe. I just do it because I like it. And with that, I'm out.